Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Down to Earth with Harriet Kemick. Thank you so much for joining us. If my voice is a little out of whack today, well, put it down to having had a good day yesterday. How many of us had a good day Monday? I had an excellent day on Monday. I went to look at a venue for an event that we have coming up on next Tuesday in Brighton, Michigan. And I kid you not, that day totally relaxed me. I thank God for having good friends in your life who see something good in you and who encourage you and motivate you and keep you. My friend Linda took good care of me. We ended up going to somewhere to eat. And I had the time of my life. I just sat there and just allowed myself to linger in the presence and to linger in not having to worry about anything. Everything just left and I was just fine. So I had a good day on Monday, which was a setup, which was a good thing. It was a setup. And my day just continued on on Monday evening. I was fine. I was quite relaxed despite the traffic, despite the commute. Despite the commute, say so. Shout out to everybody who has to deal with a commute. How many of us have to deal with a commute? Oh, sucks major. Well, today on our show, we're going to talk about the politics in your relationship. What happens when you and your partner support different political ideologies? Don't laugh at me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So I want to talk about that today and hopefully give you some insight. So as we go through this treacherous political season, you'll get some insight. So for those of us who are in the Metro Detroit area, next Tuesday at 6 p.m. in the evening in Brighton, Michigan, I will be speaking on the intersectionality of human trafficking and immigration. So make sure you come out and join us. It will take place at the Homewood Suites on Chalice Road. Homewood Suites on Chalice Road in Brighton, Michigan. Make sure you come on out and join us. We'll post the link. It's already on Facebook. So I'm going to post the link to Facebook and Twitter so the rest of you can see it. So if you want to be a part of it, you certainly are welcome to come out and be a part of what we're going to do, right? Right? I want you all to come out and join with us as we talk about the intersection of human trafficking and immigration. Life is filled with intersections, right? And sometimes some of the issues that confront us happen at a vortex. Well, that vortex is called an intersection. And so we tend to look at an issue from one side of the spectrum. But what about the whole picture? And sometimes we don't look at the whole picture. We tend to just look at it from one side. Well, there is another viewpoint. And that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, right? Next Tuesday. So there's a lot of stuff going on here in the Metro Detroit area. Everybody knows GM is on strike. Well, I just saw a report on the Detroit News, I think it was, that if GM continues to strike for more than a week, it will send the Michigan economy into recession. We can't do recession, people. So whatever GM needs to do. So I want you all to tweet General Motors at GM. Fix this so Michigan doesn't go into recession. Like, God, can we get a break? Like, we just got out of that stuff. Who wants a recession? So come on, GM, fix it. You made $8 billion in profits last year. Give the people some of the money. Instead of you all taking it and flying private jets out of that airport over in Highland, Michigan, right? It's on Highland Road in Waterford, Michigan. That's where you all fly out from, right? All the executives from GM, that's where they fly out from. They're so important. They don't even take Metro Airport. And they certainly don't go to Flint. And they don't go to the city airport on Mac and Connor. They fly out from Highland, Michigan, because they're too important to be touched. The regular people can't touch them. So the folks at General Motors, the people who run General Motors, you self-important people who sit in ivory towers up there and think that the world does not exist unless you woke up this morning. I have news for you. There was someone else who occupied that seat, right? And someone else before that person, etc., etc. So you're just another wheel in the cog. You might just be on a higher end of the cog, but if you have to fall, you're still going to fall, dude. And do that. So I want everybody to go tell GM, tweet General Motors, fix this. We can't afford for Michigan to go into recession. We can't do that. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. You made $8 billion last year. You can fix this. I normally support General Motors, but in this one thing, not when you made $8 billion last year, give the workers what they want. Give them something. Come back to the table and give them something. And you don't want Donald Trump getting involved in this because we already know how he feels about General Motors, right? All right. So you don't want Donald Trump involved in this. Matter of fact, don't tempt me. I might go call somebody and tell them to tell Trump to get involved in it. Don't tempt me. Right? Don't tempt me. Don't let me make enough noise so it gets to their attention. Right? General Motors, fix this. Gosh, can we get a break? Like, if you live anywhere in the Metro Detroit area and see what has happened here, the renaissance that has happened here since 2008, you'd understand what I'm talking about. You'd understand how desperate we are for us not to go into a recession. You'd understand. I mean, literally, we came back from nothing. Downtown Detroit was a ghost town. Downtown Detroit was so jacked up. We didn't even at the time. I lived in where did I think I lived in Southfield. And I kid you not, we didn't even drive through downtown Detroit. You didn't go there because it was filled with homeless people. It was a derelict place. I mean, the buildings were tattered and broken down, broken bottles on the street, no street lights. I kid you not. It was like a ghost town. It was like everybody had abandoned Michigan and abandoned Detroit. So when I tell you that General Motors does not need to allow the strike to go on for more than a week, believe me, I'm passionate about it. Detroit has become just like another great American city. It has revived. There's work on every block. There's construction. On every other block, there's a new building and a new facility going up. Right? So we definitely, when I say we definitely don't need we don't need a recession. We don't need a recession. So, are you with me? I need everybody to go tweet General Motors and tell them what? Tell them fix this so that the workers can get their money. Why? Because General Motors made $8 billion last year. They can fix this. Say fix this. Fix this, GM. Fix it. Fix it, General Motors. Matter of fact, pick up your phones right now, everybody. Yeah, while you're watching me on air, I want you all to go to General Motors. I want you all to go to Twitter. I'm doing it right now, and I'm telling General Motors to what? Fix it. General Motors, fix this. Fix it, General Motors. There we go. There we go. At GM. At General Motors. Fix it. You think I'm joking? Fix it. Fix it. Michigan cannot go through another. I'm telling you, I'm doing it. Michigan cannot go through another recession. Another recession if the current strike continues for more than a week. Give the workers what they want. What they want. What they want. You made $8 billion last year. Y'all think I'm joking. I'm not joking with these people. $8 billion last year. Last year. Right? Fix it. GM, fix it. And I'm telling the mayor of the city of Detroit, Mayor Mike Dugan, nobody wants a recession in Detroit. Okay? Nobody wants. Say that. Oh, y'all thought I was joking, right? I'm not even waiting. Mayor Mike Dugan, fix it. I kid you not. I kid you not. I'm tweeting them because I'm serious about this. Right? Because what happens is we can't go through another recession. Right? Fix it. So, So you see now why I say the politics of our relationship? Because imagine if you are, let me see who else is on here. Y'all are with me, right? Uh, Imagine if you and your partner are on different sides of the political spectrum. So you're a Republican and they're Democrat. What do you think goes on in your house? You disagree. You already disagree on fundamental ideologies. I don't even know how you got together. That's interesting in and of itself. But suffice it to say, now that you're here and you have to live together, you're just hoping your relationship survives another treacherous, how shall I say this, another treacherous election season, right? Am I joking? Is that not true, right? Because the truth of the matter is, how is your relationship going to survive this current time? I mean, think about it. We allow politics is so infused into our everyday activities. Why wouldn't it go into our relationships? Well, how do you navigate these things? How do you get from there to there? Well, that's entirely up to you. I mean, you can do some things, like you can say, well, we're not going to talk about politics in the bedroom. Boom, start right there. Right? So you shut that door. Okay. So you can say, we're not going to talk about politics in the living room. Right? Okay. We're going somewhere. You can say, we're not going to talk about politics in the kitchen. Right? You can say, we're not going to talk about politics in the dining room. You can also say, we're not going to talk about politics in the family room, not in the bathroom, not in the garage. In the garage, and definitely not in the car. So the only time you can talk about politics is when you're texting each other. You know what that does? Especially if you're standing on different sides of the aisle. You know what that does? That sets you up so that you never ever disagree in the places that are sacred to you. The places that are sacred to you are where? Your home, right? Right. Your home, your living room, your dining room, definitely the bedroom, the bathroom, right? You probably share a bathroom. You might have his and hers mirrors or his and her sinks, but you still definitely share. But so you don't talk about politics. So you don't watch Fox and you definitely don't watch CNN together because that will drive you crazy. So if you're Republican, you're going to watch Fox. And if you're Democrat, you're going to watch CNN and MS, and definitely don't turn on MSNBC. You are going to kill each other. So as politics impacts our relationships, what we have to do is to make sure that that we absolutely do not, don't let that become a part of our everyday relationship. We have to maintain the integrity of such, because what I'm finding is that if you can become so passionate that your passion it gets translated into different things in life. Suddenly even your decision making becomes political. Well, you think that way because you're a liberal. You think that way because that's what Bernie Sanders thinks. You think that way because that's what Elizabeth Warren says. Or you think that way because that's what Mitch McConnell thinks. Or you think that way because that's what all old white men with snow hair thinks. And before you know it, it starts deteriorating and denigrating, and it becomes personal. Well, isn't that what your dad thinks about me? Well, isn't that what your mom said? Your mom is a fundamentalist Christian, isn't she? And then it just goes south from there. And it just keeps going south and south and south. And suddenly things that never mattered before become magnified. So if it were me, this is just what I say. If it were me, I would say what? Don't even touch the subject. Just let it be. Don't touch it. Don't talk about politics. Rule politics out, because the fact of the matter is that politics is going to become what it is. Politics is becoming more and more. It's contentious anyway. It's just like talking about religion. There are two things that no couple should ever really, really, really start an argument about: politics and religion, because it never ends, especially if you disagree. Because you can say, I agree to disagree. And then you're like, no, you didn't go there. That was a low blow. Don't say that. No, that's not true. It's contentious. So stay away from it. And but it's also important, if your partner supports a different ideology than you do, it probably is based on some sound reasoning that they have that might not be yours. Isn't it true? Right. So it's probably some sound reasoning they have that might not be yours, but guess what you're going to do? You're going to go on and on about it anyway. You're liking this because it's true. It's true. You're nodding your head, right? So they're going to support things that you don't even think about. But think about it. Why are they Republican? Did you grow up that way? Or is it some thought process that influenced you, right? Because in my family, well, I'm kind of the outsider, so we won't talk about me, right? Because from the get go, you already know, right? I would say something different, and they're just going to say whatever else is the opposite just to say, right? And even sometimes when you might agree on some fundamentals, there's some things that are common that we all agree on loving America, right? We all agree on that. We just display it in a different way. We all agree that homeland America needs to be protected and should be protected regardless, right? And at some point, in a very deep and practical way, all of us felt like if it comes down to defending the democracy and what we believe in, oh, we would lay our lives down in a minute. No, hands down. So that's a given. But the execution of those ideas, well, that's why it's called politics. Because guess what you do? You're going to disagree on the execution. You're going to disagree on the details. For instance, you look at the current situation right now with the Democrats. I think they're stupid and silly, like it's unbelievable. Like seriously, they have one candidate who is perhaps the best candidate that they could put forward for a presidential election. And they had a debate the other day where they were beating him up. Did that make sense? That was so silly and beyond reason. Because none of the other people, no matter what they did to Biden, they can't beat him in a general election. So why are you beating him up? Because is it about your party or is it about you and your own beliefs? So I think the Democrats are silly. Now, switch over to the Republicans. They're in the White House. You know how they look at it? We're going to keep the White House at any cost. So they rally behind the guy in the White House like fundamental. Republicans believe in party. They put the party above all else. The Democrats, they're over here fighting. And while they're fighting, things are going to pot. They're picking a fight with Biden. And I'm like, dude, you're going to need Biden down the line anyway. So what's the point? The Republicans don't take that hit or miss stuff. They're like, this is the guy. This is the best candidate we have for the job. This is who we're going to rally behind and support. So they send their soldiers out to get on the same bandwagon. So wherever you go in the Republican Party across the country, their platform is the same. They say the same things. The Democrats, they vary. 1 minute it's impeach, 1 minute, nah, we're not going to impeach. 1 minute, no, it's impeach Kavanaugh, we're not going to impeach. So imagine all these contentious ideas taking place in your house. That's a hell house. You start sounding like the talking heads on CNN and MSNBC. Can't agree on nothing. You see what I mean? So don't even start the politics in there. Don't start it. Don't bring it in, right? Leave it. Like I said, it doesn't go in the garage. So I'm setting up the boundaries for where the politics will end in your relationship. It's not going in the garage. It's not in the car, because if you drive together, you're going to go crazy, right? It's not in the house. It's not in the laundry room. It's not in the kitchen. It's not in the basement. I forgot about that. There are some houses with basements if you live in some parts of the country, right? So it's not in the basement. It's not in the kitchen, not the living room, not the family room, not the dining room. And it's not in the bedroom. All the other rooms, they're all variations of those. So no, it's none of that. It's not on the stairwell. It's not in the house, period. That means you are leaving politics out of your relationship. Just understand that you're going to disagree, and that more than likely your candidate is going to act the tomfool, right? Like the Democrats are doing. They're just pure tomfoolery. Like it's just total silly. Don't you think so? It's silly, isn't it? Very silly. Meanwhile, the Republicans, on the other hand, are like, We're writing it out. We're writing it out. And the Democrats are nitpicking on the one good candidate that they have. Don't let that be a metaphor for your relationship. It's just like your relationship, right? You have a relationship that might not be perfect. Your relationship might not be everything that you want it to be. We become so obsessed with perfection. We think that all of life must be a fairy tale and hunky dory all the time. It's not always going to be that way. If you want something good in life, I have found in my experience that you have to fight for it. You have to go for it. You have to work hard at it. And more often than not, it takes effort. There are mountains that you have to climb and valleys you have to get through and streams and rivers that you have to cross. And what happens is none of that is easy. You have to carry burdens and pick up burdens and carry burdens. And people stand in your way, and there are giants in the path, and there are obstacles. And you need a giant slayer until you become the giant slayer yourself. That's a relationship. It's not easy. But if both of you love each other and are committed to the goal of staying together and being the best partner for each other, then you can make it. The problem is people don't have a goal for their relationship. They don't know what it is they want to achieve. Are we together because it's a tax situation? Are we together because you don't have anywhere else to go and you can't get a job and you don't have income, so you have to live here? You have to identify. Or are we together because we love each other and we want to be with one another? Sometimes people get together because it's convenient and expedient. You're married to this person, so it helps you where you work, right? Marriage gives you stability, so it helps you on your upward climb through the corporate ladder. But when you get to the top, you plan to shake it and do what you want to do. So what is the reason for you being together in the first place? Are you together because you love? Then if that is your goal, because you want to stay together, you want to keep your assets together, you want to grow older together, then if that's your goal, then that's something to work forward, isn't it? That's something to look forward to. That's something to work towards. So you're going to go through a process to eliminate the things that become a hindrance to that relationship. And you're going to identify them, conquer them, and move them out of the way. Well, politics is one of them. Politics is just one of many things that are in your relationship, but it's a big deal nonetheless. Right? So you stop watching Fox and you stop watching CNN and MSNBC, and you don't read some periodicals like the New York Times or Washington Post, etc., or the LA Times, because there is going to be a headline that is going to grab your attention. And you certainly stay off the more contentious subjects of the day, right? To keep your relationship going. I find today that people don't have a goal for their relationship. They don't know why they're together. And because they don't know why they're together, they don't know the what for. They don't know what to look out for. They don't know how to avoid the pitfalls, because frankly, if you don't know why you're together, you're not even committed to it. And that is why you see it's part of the reason why you see so many people ending up in divorce and so many people ending up losing everything, because they don't even know why they're together. Why did you even get together? Because the sex was good? Or did you get together for some other altruistic, intrinsic reason, like the family put pressure on you? How many people are in relationships because your family put pressure on you to be in a relationship? Just raise your hand. No, there's no shame in the game, right? How many people ended up with someone whom the family placed pressure on you to be with, but you can't stand them and you hate the relationship and hate yourself and you're completely miserable? Plenty of people, right? Most of you are like, wow, that's deep. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Know that you're in that relationship. You have to start figuring out, well, what is it that I wanted? You have to figure out, what did you want in the first place? And because you're not going to leave them just because that's what your family wants. You're going to figure out, well, do you see what I'm saying? Because sometimes they might push you to marry someone and you think you love the girl over there, but the girl over there would have probably cheated on you and left you, or the guy over there would have left you and made you bereft, but that's what you want. I kid you not. That's why some of us believe in arranged marriages. Say arranged marriages. I believe in them. I believe in arranged marriages. hmm I believe I should arrange marriages for the people I love, like my children. because I think that we make better decisions than they would. They're going to choose someone whom they love right now. But is that someone who 10 years from now you're going to love? Think about that. When you're choosing a life partner, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to put up with everything that they are that will become apparent in 10 years? Ask yourself that question. Some of us take on people who have histories that we don't know. They have some baby mama drama history somewhere. They have a history of other stuff. Are you willing to put up with that? Because here's the thing, there are some other things that are going to intrude in your relationship. Politics is just one of many. You can't obviate it. It's on the radio, it's on the TV. You can say, well, I'm not going to talk about it in certain of my home spaces and in our private spaces, but it is there. You're going to ask yourself, did you register to vote? Are you going to vote? Oh, don't say anything to me. Oh, well, it's that kind of day, isn't it? Okay. So who are you going to vote? Oh, and you're like, oh, okay. So maybe we shouldn't talk to you today. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's going to intrude and be insidious and find its way into your relationship. Don't try to argue the finer points of the argument either. Don't try to convince your spouse, because that's not your fight. That's not the place to fight. You have enough in your relationship to work out. There are enough issues to worry about. He didn't put the toilet cover down. She never puts the toothpaste cover back on. For crying out loud, you leave dishes in the sink at night. I don't like dishes left in the sink. He doesn't take the trash out, so the garbage always smells. Then it's trash day and he forgets to take the trash out. Stuff happens. Or there's a drip in the tap in my bathroom, and I asked, our bathroom, and I asked you to fix it and you haven't gotten around to it. And he's like, call the plumber. And she's like, why should we go spend $90 and call the plumber when you can just fix it? Just use a screwdriver and screw it back in. How do you know it's a screwdriver that it needs? Because I feel like it's just a little thing that's little. Well, how do you know? Did you look at it? Well, if you look at it, why can't you fix it? And then you start arguing. Do you see now why you don't need politics in that? That's just adding to one of your many issues. Because politics are contentious as it is. I mean, you're going to argue about Beto O'Rourke, right? What is he thinking? What is he not thinking? You're going to argue about Bernie Sanders' wild idea of how that's going to be implemented. I love how they all have ideas. And I'm like, in the big scheme of things, how is that going to work? It just sounds good. No, we want the people want deliverables. Right? So you're looking at it, and so there you are arguing, well, your guy is an idiot. How is that going to be implemented? And then you have Elizabeth Warren over there. She wants Medicare for all. And this is you, huh? Well, what's wrong with Medicare for all? My parents are on Medicare. Someday we're going to be on Medicare. We need Medicare for all. Blah, 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 blah. And before you know it, you have a full-scale blown argument. You don't need that. You have enough to argue about. Because think about it. You got to go figure out how to pay the light bill, the gas bill, the food bill. The kids have to pay daycare, to plan money, save money for vacation next year. Well, where are we going to go for Thanksgiving and Christmas? Are we going to go to the family? I don't want to go to your family this year. See, that's what you need to talk about. Those are the issues that you need to talk about in your relationship. Don't let politics be one of them. Right? Right. So go to harrietkemmick.com and go to the exodusfoundation.com for more information on the stuff that we talk about. Thanks so much. Right? We just left one platform. We're on to another. But do you see what I mean? I mean, think about it. All the stuff that we have to think about and talk about, and you really, 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 really want to put politics into this. And I'm just forever laughing at stuff because I can just see myself. Oh my gosh, I would be so nuts, right? Just think about it. Brexit, don't leave it. Right? We'll soon come up with a new acronym for the North American Free Trade, NAFTA exit. Right? So it's going to be like, so you mean to tell me I can't drive across to Canada anymore? Are you nuts? I want to go to Canada. Why can't we just drive across? Well, right now, the way they're talking, it's even difficult to just, you live in Texas. We could just drive over the border to Tijuana. What the hell? And before you know it, you start arguing. You don't need that. It's crazy. It's crazy. We have enough stuff to talk about. The real issues that concern you, like gun control, right? You want to talk about gun violence. Well, I really don't I don't know that I would want, guns to show up at Anna's school and people just feel like, what if the teacher misreads a child, or the security guard misreads a child reaching for his phone, and then he pulls out a gun and starts shooting, and before you know it, don't shoot, it's a big thing. Those are the issues. I'm laughing. It's not funny, but I'm just thinking those are the issues that you want to save your energy for to talk about. But instead, we over here talking about politics, the politics of change. My friends, people, my people, we perish for lack of knowledge. We don't need to talk about politics in our relationship. We have enough. Have you saved enough money? No. What do you mean? I thought you were saving some of the money. Where did the money go? Well, see, what happens is Anna needed new gym shoes, and John, well, I had to pay for his soccer practice. I thought you were paying that out. Well, see, my brother needed some money, and I kind of loaned him some money. Well, I'm tired of you, brother. Don't you give him money? And before you know it, you start acting. That's really what you want to focus on, what the priorities are, because that's the stuff of life. Life is never perfect, right? Stuff is going to happen, and family's going to need help, and you have to figure out, do I give them or don't I give them? Do I ask for permission or do I do it after I've given them? Do you see? That's the real stuff. That's the stuff of life. And that's what makes your life interesting. And you're driving on your commute and you just put it, you're tuned into your favorite satellite station, or you cue me up on Spotify or on Google Play. Yeah, we're on Google Play and we're on Spotify, right? So you listen and you're like, darn, right? And you're like, yeah, I want to keep listening to that. That's what you really want to do. So what I tell folks is this: see that commute, your commute, don't use that to call people. Use your commute, because some of us use that to call people and it just hypes us out. Use your commute to de-stress your mind. Put in and listen to something that's going to relax you. So by the time you get to your destination, whether you're on your way to work and you have to deal with the crazes at work, yeah, they're there too, right? Or whether you're on your way home, you get a chance to just forget about everything and you're in like suspended reality for a minute. Because you can almost time it. Wait for it. The phone is gonna ring. There comes husband. Oh, hi. So yeah. So I'm just done with court today. Yeah. What's for dinner? And you're like, oh, I think I'm just gonna go run into Costco and pick up, like a rotisserie chicken. Mm, oh, what? You don't like that? No, no, I didn't say anything. No, 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 no. And he's like, didn't we just have that yesterday? And you're like, I don't want to go home. I'm tired. I want to go home and put my feet up. That's the stuff that real life is made of. That's what you want to talk about. Well, maybe I should do a better job of organizing so I can give ourselves more meal options. Maybe we just stop at Taco Bell or something and pick up some tacos. It's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Maybe we just stop there and do that. Oh, okay. All right. I'll do that. So you'll be home in about 10? Okay, see you in about 20 minutes then. I'll pick up the stuff then. You see what I mean? That's real life. Bending and meeting each other. So her breaking point was where? She's tired. She doesn't want to go home and cook. So his point is, yeah, he just came from court, but he's not that tired. So he's going to expend himself and pick up something to eat to meet the need. That's what relationships are supposed to be about, meeting each other's needs. It's not about me and it's about you. So I have to serve you. You see what I'm saying? And you are to serve me. If each of us make the other person the important part of the relationship, guess what? Make the other person the priority, it works better. But as long as we both sit there and say, well, I'm the priority, what I want, what I want, what I want. And you have to be careful at the person who is always saying, well, I'm not getting any attention and I need this and I need that. You have to really sit back and listen for a while. Listen to what they're really saying. Are they saying they're not getting attention because you genuinely are not giving them attention? Or are they saying they're not getting attention because it's all about them? because that's a form of control and manipulation. You know that, right? That's someone manipulating your emotions to extract whatever they need to extract, right? So you have to listen. Relationships, you spend more time listening than talking, right? You listen to what your partner has to say. Yeah, I'm having this sucky day, and yeah, they just give me more work to do. Lord have mercy. Do I have to? Right? And then that's what he hears. But if he's going to call to mouth off, or she's going to call to mouth off, you have to learn to take a deep breath and listen and let them talk. And then when they're done, you take a deep breath and you say, okay, I'm sorry about that. Listen, this is what is facing us. We'll talk about that. I'll be there for you later when we come home. All of a sudden, you get the person say, okay, all right. Okay, well, see you later. Because now they're like, okay, I got it out and I need to go on. Right? We've also, in this generation, in this dispensation, one of the things we've done is we've paid a lot of attention to venting. We have told people that they shouldn't keep their emotions bottled up, that they should vent. And what happens is people think they have a right to vent. And sometimes in venting, what we do is we hurt each other more because we say hurtful things about someone whom we care about and love. So we have to use wisdom and discipline and to make sure that we're not always saying the wrong things to the wrong person at the wrong time. Right? So right now, I still need you to pick your phone up and tweet GM. Have you done that yet? I still need you to tweet General Motors and tell them, fix it. Give the workers their money. You made $8 billion last year. Fix it. Michigan can't go into another recession. Fix it. Right? We need to do that. Create something. Fix it, General Motors. They can. They made $8 billion last year. They can give the workers something. They're not going to give the workers $1 billion, but they can give them something. Because we can't afford for Michigan to go into another recession. We just came back. Detroit just came back. I need everybody in Detroit. I'm going to tweet all Detroiters, tweet General Motors, and put pressure on them and tell them fix it. We can't go into another recession. One more week will send Michigan into a recession. All those little mom and pop shops, all those places that are dependent on workers going in every day to buy stuff, keeps the engine rolling and keeps the economy going. Come on, General Motors. You keep Michigan rolling. Well, roll us, man. Come on, dudes. Roll us, Michigan. Roll us, General Motors. You keep us rolling. Well, come on. Roll this thing out, right? Just like in your relationship, what powers you up? Keep it rolling. Love was what got you started. You fell in love, and that's what got you started. Well, are you working on it? Roll it out. Keep it going. So often we forget what brought us together in the first place. It was love at first sight. You know, you look at that person and you're like all gooey eyed and like, oh my God, my breath stopped when I looked at him. And she's like, oh my God, there was no one else. He looked at me across the room and I can't believe it. Well, go back to that. Keep it rolling. You're actually talking to the person on the phone who made your heart felt like it wasn't going to take a breath. You're all laughing at me, aren't you? You're all like, I don't know about that. Well, if that's not your scenario, maybe you need to re-examine, right? It can't just all be cut and dried. Some people are just like cut and dry. We got together because we got bills to pay and we earn enough to pay bills. Let's see how long that lasts you, because you don't have any passion or drive and no love. Clearly, your eyes don't twinkle when you think of this person. Clearly, here's how you know that's the person for you. Want to know how you know? Think about it like this. If living without that person makes you feel bad, if the very idea of living without them gives you a headache or makes you feel bad, that's the right one. If you find yourself saying, I don't want to think about not ever seeing them again, that's what you need to think about. That's how you know it's the right person. Now, they may not feel that way about you. Chances are they don't feel that way. They're like, excuse me, keep it moving. But chances are you are together because you both look at each other like, I would rather be with you than anyone else in the world. I think I would rather grow with you. And if that's how you feel, then guess what? As for me, I think you should go for it, right? I think that you should. So I want us to focus on some things, right? I want us to focus on the politics of our relationship. And I want us to think about how does that impact us? There are politics and there are some things that we have to think about. You have children in school, you have to think about saving for that rainy day. And I know you're in your 30s and so on, and you think that rainy day will never come. Baby, it comes faster, speeding at you like a NASA rocket. Before you know it, the kids are in middle school. Watch out. When you drop them off at middle school, that last year of middle school, that's a sliding scale to high school. High school is only 4 years, and then before you know it, it's college. And high school is the fastest part of their growing up years. The years that from elementary school into middle school seem to go on forever. And then, and before you know it, it's the last year of middle school, and you drop them off. And you realize that next year it will be high school. And then it's the first day of the first year of high school. And it's like, whew, high school goes so fast. 1 minute you're in it, the next minute you're doing ACT and SATs. And before you know it, you're dropping that person off, that child off at college. So it goes really, really, really fast, right? So take time out to enjoy those precious moments with them, because sometimes that's all you'll have in the future, right? And it's what builds your relationship. You spent years together. I don't understand why we give up on each other so readily. Because you spent years caring for your children together. You had to come together, make decisions together. You had to figure out what works for both of you and what works for the children. Why are you so ready and willing to just throw that all away? Is it because of the responsibility? You think you need a break from it? Well, here's your break. They're gone to college. You never have to wake up early again. You don't have to drop them off at school again. They're in college now. They're fine. And they don't want to think about you. They're having a good time, trust me, just like you did when you were in college. So don't just throw it all away just because they went to college. You will want to have fun. Let the kids call you and say, hey, why are you not answering the phone at home? Well, we're not at home. Well, where are you? We're out. Oh, why are you out? Because we are grown and we can be out. Go out and have some fun. So many people, so many people give up so early. So early. It really is. It really is. It's really disheartening. So many people give up after you've spent a lifetime together. Don't give up and don't quit. Right? Stay at it and work at your relationship though. That's a good thing, don't you think? I want you all to promise yourself that you're going to work at your relationship. Promise yourself that you're going to stay true. Say, I am going to stay true to what brought us together in the first place. Find ways to nurture and support that. That is if it were a good thing that you came together. Because maybe it's not a good thing that you came together. Maybe not. Right? Remains to be seen. Figure it out. Figure it out. Work it out. Life is too short. Right? This is Harriet Kemick. Thank you so much for joining me. Right? Make sure you come again tomorrow. And of course, you can listen to this on Spotify and Google Play, and join us on the other podcasts. Wherever your favorite podcast platform is, we're there. We're there, right? Make sure you tweet GM. I'm asking you. Tweet GM. They got to fix this. Bring public pressure to bear on them. They got to fix this because we can't afford for Michigan to go into another recession. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you. Hey, have a good day. Be blessed. How's it going? Be blessed, everybody. Tweet General Motors. Yeah, they got the money. They made $8 billion last year. What's up with that? Right? Be blessed, everybody. Be blessed, people.